Let's bring you the latest on Russia's war on Ukraine. A dam and hydroelectric power plant in a Russian-controlled part of southern Ukraine have been destroyed, unleashing a torrent of water and prompting fears of wide-scale flooding in the area downstream on the Dnipro River. Ukrainian and Russian officials have urged local communities near the Nova Kakhovka dam to evacuate the area immediately. It is unclear what exactly destroyed the dam early on Tuesday, but from the images being broadcast from the scene, it appears that an explosion blew up a large part of the structure. There is more in the following report.
Ukrainian and Russian officials have accused each other of blowing up the dam, although conflicting reports have emerged from Moscow-installed officials. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused, quote, Russian terrorists of destroying the dam. Russia's defense minister accused Ukraine of blowing up the dam as part of a plan to redeploy units from nearby Kherson region. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters that the incident was deliberate sabotage by the Ukrainian side. However, Vladimir Rogov, a Russian-installed official in Zaporizhia, said the dam collapsed due to earlier damage and the pressure of the water. The dam was built in 1956 on the Dnipro River as part of the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant. It supplies water to large swaths of southeastern Ukraine as well as the Russian-annexed Crimean Peninsula. The dam's reservoir also provided water used for essential cooling of the 6 reactors of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, the largest such facility in Europe, as well as for spent fuel and emergency diesel generators that have had to be used repeatedly when external power fails. The United Nations nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, said it was closely monitoring the situation, but that there was no immediate nuclear safety risk at the plant. The exact ecological consequences of the dam's destruction are yet to be clearly identified, but Ukraine officials have warned they could be serious.
And it's obvious that this is happening in the context.
Meanwhile, there has been widespread condemnation of the incident, with the United Nations Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, calling the damage caused to the dam a monumentous humanitarian, economic, and ecological catastrophe.
One thing is clear. This is another devastating consequence of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And we are seeing the effects in the city of Kherson, the town of Nova Kakhovka, and 80 other towns and villages along the Dnipro River. At least 16,000 people have already fled their homes, lost their homes, with safe and clean drinking water supplies at risk for many thousands more. The United Nations and the humanitarian partners are rushing support in coordination with the government of Ukraine, including drinking water and the water purification tablets and other critical assistance. We'll continue our humanitarian work and our appeals for urgent, safe and secure humanitarian access.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg said the destruction of the dam demonstrated the brutality of Russia's war in Ukraine. The president of the European Council said the act qualifies as a war crime. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre held a briefing on Tuesday and was joined by NSA Coordinator for Strategic Communications, John Kirby. Mr. Kirby gave remarks on the attack on the Nova Kakhovka dam, saying the U.S. cannot conclusively say Russia is responsible for the attack and that the investigation is ongoing.
I know there's been a lot of interest in the destruction of the Nova Kakhovka dam in Ukraine, and I wanted to just take a minute to address it. As you might expect, we've been closely monitoring the impacts of that destruction, which has triggered massive flooding in Ukraine and resulted in the evacuation of, at the very least, thousands of Ukrainians. We know there are casualties, including likely many deaths, though these are early reports and we cannot quantify them right now. We've seen the reports that Russia was responsible for the explosion at the dam, which I would remind, Russian forces took over illegally last year and have been occupying since then.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz blamed Russia for the attack, saying the long-feared move represented a new dimension in the conflict.